love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look it up. Don't be scared. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look it up. Don't be scared.
We're getting ready to get started. Give me just a few minutes to wrap up a few little details here.
That's not supposed to be there.
Well, that's crazy. Okay. Get the old vipping going. This may make the stream kind of cut out a little bit, so I'm going to wait before I get that. I don't want to update, man. See if that affects the stream any. Looks like we're... Oh, crap, are ya? Don't. We're almost there, guys. Hold on. Got Oh, where are you, Mom? Not time. Okay, I think we're ready. Thank you very much for your patience. And there we go. All right, so welcome to the membership streams here, where I try to give a little bit extra, and we've been going over some smart margin details, and we got some questions. Let me pull some of these. I have some good questions this week. I tried to answer them. We're going to go over some of those here from over in the lounge. I think they were posted over in the Bandy Wall section. Brack has had some questions over there. So I'll get that set up. We'll address that in a second. We'll take a look at my idea of what's going on in the market here. It's been a scary drop, right? And if you've been doing the spot margin thing or just been, you know, especially if you've been leverage trading at all, you've been feeling it. Unless you've been shorting, which, you know, hats off to those who did. I was not one of those. I didn't prepare for that. And at these times, you look back and say, why the hell didn't you prepare for it? And, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but, you know, I had other things on my mind, which is the spot margin thing, which is you can short. You can do that. We'll talk about that today, how you do it. I had a trend line, and I'm on the 1 hour, and we pretty much lost it. And that was the line in the sand that, well, basically I did a little bit, but could have done a lot more. There were several of these lines in the sand there. But now we're coming down, and here's what I think is what we're looking at. I personally do think this is what's going on. CME is not opened up for trading yet. It will be opened up in about an hour and a half. Our current price on Bitcoin is 59, what is it, 180, which technically puts us right down here. Well, yeah, right here in this area. So we've got a big ass set of candles dropping us down from where we were holding this area. Friday, look good, look possible. We could bounce and things would be just jolly and awesome, but no. It looks like the powers that be want to go through and get this little CMA gap. If I put it on the regular Christmas tree candles and we go to the daytime, the daily time frame over here, you can see it a lot clearer. See that? Well, we are down here and we may, gosh darn it, do I have to adjust this? I don't want to adjust this. Take it down to this little wick over here. Maybe even down to here, man. Oh, I don't want to do that, but we'll do that. We'll take it all the way down to this wick bottom, which could be 57,800, could be the lowest that we see. I don't foresee that, but then again, I didn't foresee this gap being filled so quick. I thought maybe we get one more bump up and then come down, but then again, that's what you get for thinking. So we're hanging around here, right here in this area. It's a good place to start bouncing out of here. I want to put a little trend line above this top of this one. And then of course we got the red line sitting here right on top of the other one. But we should catch some support here, especially if we're filling the gap. We just need to come down here, fill orders, and get on our little merry way. I see that as a possibility. Even the red Ichimoku cloud over here is telling me I'm cool with it if you want to do it. So that's what I'm waiting on. And any other thing, if we come down here, if we start making the lower lows, well, we're looking at a whole different animal. If we can get a bounce in these areas, well, our YCOP idea is still valid, and our idea of still going up after the halving is still valid. There's still, and we've still made a higher low. That point would be still valid if we can get a bounce from here. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin and the market, and that's going to affect our bags. And we're dealing with altcoins mainly right now, but we got to keep up with the Bitcoin to see what's going to go. So we're hoping to see a bottom through here, and it's painful. But we've not come back to this $53,000 area again, and we didn't stay there very long. So let that be a little ray of sunshine. We were wicked up quickly 2 days in a row from there. Third day, we didn't even come back down there. There's ain't no use in driving prices down there. They just going to buy it all. So the market started turning around, and for us to come back and retest these areas right here without a CMA gap, that's normal. That's normal. So it's scary. I know, a scary weekend. Were there any signs to look for to give you a heads up? Of course there were, trend lines and everything. One other sign that you can look for is a wick. A big old strong wick. Some people call them strong wick reversals, but look at that wick was right up here at a resistance area. So I mean, that's a good sign in retrospect and in future when you see this kind of idea coming out again. Well, we're paying a little bit more attention to it on some of our calls, right? One of the biggest things that I respect, and it makes me respect it every damn time, and I don't like what it's doing right now. I really don't. Is this MACD crossing over here? But this was Friday's. Let's see what she looks like now. She's already crossed over this weekend and came from here on the 30th all the way down. So she's playing out. But smart move would have been to respect that. I've already been through this on the weekly, man, and you can make your rules, but doing your rules, executing your rules, that's where the magic is. That's where the rubber meets the road there. And I do have a rule, man. When these things cross, especially on weekly and daily, pay attention. Start paying attention when they start curving over, showing the first signs. And that's one of my that if I can share anything with you that will help you navigate this market, it would be that. But the trick to it is to execute on it, because when you see that at the time, the market might be doing something different, and then you get in your head, well, that's all right. We'll just see. But I'm definitely going to be more decisive on these actions, because it's always proven out to be true, man. The MACD is a great indicator. It's a little bit lagging, but you go with it on the weeklies and the dailies, and she can help you out. And here we are on the weekly, man, and I'm trying to be positive about it. There's some sister nations. She could be bouncing here. We could be, or we could just be coming on down, and I don't like that bot. We don't have the signs yet saying, oh, things are getting bullish now. We don't have them yet. We're looking for them to happen, and of course, maybe if I get on a current time frame, it'll make a little bit more sense. I get back on the other one. No, still not here on the regular time frames yet either. 3-day might be trying to do something there. So anyway, bags are scary and life is scary right now, and we've lost the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. It's looking rough. It is, but we can bounce back. We can. But if we come down here to this area, even if we come down to, I don't even like it if we come down to 53,000. I don't like it. We can. That kind of throws the Wyckoff spring idea out the window a little bit, and there could be a bigger spring on the way, so you'd have to consider that idea. But anyway, let's start getting into CoinEx margin and all that, because if there's one thing that you can do when everything is raining down, especially let's take a look at total 3 here. This is the altcoins. They're taking a big ass hit. The good sign that I can share for today is that we did bounce off this 886 area. That's a known bottoming area. We got the 360 moving average coming in at 517. You know, we could still come on down, but this is a good shot for the altcoins, I believe. Now, the moving averages, the momentum is still up and to the right, so we've got that going for us. Even the scary drops are saying that we can still make a little bit of a comeback. But I want to throw this idea out there, and hopefully I will, I've said this idea before when we were back here about us coming up and then rolling over. And I took some profit on some things, mostly my Caspa and Solana was my biggest bags is what I was focusing on, and I should have focused on more of them. Retrospect, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We just can only do our best with what we learn and going forward. And I'm learning I'm not paying myself enough. Even when I think that I'm doing okay, I need to be doing more, So we're coming down here in a bounce area, and we might come up and roll over again, so we might have another opportunity to pay ourselves a little bit as altcoins kind of figure out what they're going to do. Maybe they'll be doing this for a while. It's just not going to be fun with altcoins until we start getting into later September, maybe earlier in October, and that's when things can really start turning around for altcoins. But right now, man, she's looking scary, and here on the daily, there's still lots of room, even according to these indicators, for it to keep them coming down. So might lose a few more, might see a little bit more happen on the downside, especially over the next couple of days. Ichimoku Cloud kind of suggests that too. Damn. But as these things are tanking, and if you have coins stored on your hardware wallet, what I've been doing is moving them over to CoinEx or whatever exchange that supports spot margin, and I'm able to build those bags bigger rather than them just sitting in my wallet doing nothing. And they can also help me, balance out some other positions. So I'm going to pull up my account, but I do not recommend that you follow what I'm doing on this account at all, because I got too many damn coins over there. that makes me not want to show this. That's just bad habits. I don't want to spread bad habits. I would say, some would say even if you had 10 coins, 10 positions over there, that would be too many, and I might agree. So I am being very degenerate as far as how many positions I have, but I've got a plan, supposedly, if I can execute it and just kind of get rid of a lot of these smaller bags and roll them all over into my bigger ones. The market's just got to cooperate with me, and so far, well, the last few days, she's not been, as you can tell. So I've just been managing this position. Let me get it over here. Let's bring her up where we are, because she's dropped, man. She's dropped. I'm back down to 90,000. This spot margin thing was up to about 150,000 or something like that. Today alone, I'm down $10,000, and it don't feel good. This is my P&L for the last 7 days. I am down 53,000, and at this point, I've got to look at myself and say, is this really what I want to do? Because that's a third of a drop. I know we got some leverage going on, but I mean, and it's just a sign I'm not paying myself enough, and we're getting back up to those juicy areas. So that's what we got going on here, but here is what the count looks like, and I'm managing it okay. I just don't like my Bitcoin coming down to this 140%. I had her up like 180%. I was like, yeah, this is working good. Yeah, but I didn't sell my Bitcoin, and I don't know that I want to at all, because I'm still trying to build this little area up. I'm really wanting to get this up slowly to about 3 Bitcoin, and it's going to take some time, and I got to worry about repaying this guy down. This is my main strategy, is to build my Bitcoin. I've got way too many coins here. It is a problem, and I get the fun of dealing with all these coins, trying to keep them in the positive right now. So you can see most of my positions, they're still, the risk is being managed, but it's finagling, and I'm having to borrow from Peter to pay Paul. I borrow from Bitcoin, Casper, and Solana, because those are the ones I managed well, and I got them in profit, so now I can use them to my advantage. But I don't like doing it. I was up really good on Casper. I was up really good on that. And still am, but I'm having to kind of lean on it to kind of feed some of these little bottom feeder bags. I've got a lot of them over here that are about $100, $200, $300. I'm going to wipe all these little suckers out and use that to pay back the loans on the bigger ones and all that to get my risk down. But mostly we're pretty good. There's a few here that are making me feel, a little nervous. When they start getting to about 130%, I'm still safe, but I've been there before and made me nervous, and I don't like being there again. Because on some of these, I just got to get to 110 or 102 or 105% for liquidation, and I don't want to do that. Now, as long as all these little guys are green here where it says risk percentage, and what that just means, it's a ratio between my margin and what I've got available for collateral and then what I don't. When they go orange, and what that means is that, well, you're at break even, and you can't use it as collateral anymore. You've already used all your collateral at that point. Now you can add to that. You can send some more money or more assets over, send some more dollars over, or send some more coin over. Sometimes I do that. I don't always send everything over at once, wait for these bigger drops, and then I'll send the other half of my bag over just as a safeguard. Keeps me from making too much stupid when things start going up, and I'm like, well, I want to buy some more now. That kind of idea. So that's one of my rules, is that when I'm moving a coin over the spot margin for collateral, a lot of times maybe I allocate X number of coins to move over. Well, I only take about half of that and actually put in the spot in the margin, and leave the others sitting either on a wallet or over into the CoinEx spot places where I can move it over as needed. That's a technique that I use, and it helps me mitigate some of these things if market starts going sour. And the whole thing is just to slowly, this is great if you're a DCA or dollar cost average, and we got this big market drop, you can just pull your coins over there. And then we did this. I did an example with Matic, and what I did, if I can find, not Matic, but what the hell was it? Oh, come on. I know you're down here. It was one that I took $100, borrowed it from Bitcoin, moved it over to the spot, and then I bought this coin, moved it back over, I think it was $100, might be 50, moved it back over to the margin, and then I borrowed against it and built a position on it. And that's a cool way that you can use this. I just can't find the one that I I gotta find it on my phone here. Yeah, we'll bring back a mask. It was mask. That was the one. Where are you, mask? I can't find you on here for some reason. Mask, I got $130 in mask, so she should be down. Are you in some kind of weird order here? I can't. Oh, no. Well, when I say mask, here it is. Why are you up here? So I got this position. Are you going to show me anything on here? All right, well, we'll highlight it over here. Mask. All right, here it is. Okay, so I've got $110. It says available. This reads a little different than what I have on my phone. So I've got 41 mask now. It's worth $78 with the drop and everything. But I've got it managed well. I've got it 160% over here. So I'm doing good. So it can drop down to, my liquidation point is $1.29, it looks like, for mask. Let's see if that's right. And we're sitting at 188 right now. So I'm fairly safe on that. But that's one that I just pulled out of my ass. Just pulled money out of Bitcoin, put a little money into it, and then put it over. And that's one of the advantages that you can do with this. And that's why I like it. And it's really good when the market's down. Now, when the market is up and moving coins over and borrowing against them, they can work for you. But when you get a big drop like this, then you're like, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do. I might lose everything. So we don't want to do that. We want to start this when things are down at the bottom. All right. If you guys got any questions about spot margin or anything about this, I've been over, you know, I put them in the chat, but I'm going to go over some questions that I think Brackish had over here. I think the first question. Let me see, make sure I can get those questions up here. I feel like I'm not updated over here. All right, well, did we erase the question? Here's what we said, a mini question. Well, one of the questions was, if you move something over, if you move an asset over, when is a good time to borrow on it? And I'm going to say, so you move an asset over. And what I mean by that, let's say you've got, you've got Caspa in your wallet and it's sitting there not doing much. And you decide you want to do spot margin. Well, you would move her over. I don't know. Let's say you move $500. Let's just say $500. You move $500 of Caspa over, right? And she was sitting up at 20 cents. Now, right there is not the best place to borrow because it'll kind of lock you in at that rate, right? But the lower she drops, when she falls down and the market's tanking, if you borrow at that point, you can borrow. I believe it's 3x. Maybe it's 3x, 3 to 5x on Caspa. We're going to say it's 3. So if you had $500, you could borrow technically up to $1,500 off that, which you would not do. You don't do that. Don't borrow. Don't ever borrow your whole amount. Borrow about as much as you put over there. That will give you a 2x right off the bat, and then we'll work slowly from there. So you borrow $500. Now you got $1,000 to work with instead of just $500 worth of Caspa. But you still got your Caspa. Now you can double that bag, but do it slowly as prices start to come down. If they keep dropping, say if you moved all the money over here when we were at this trend line or whatever, and she drops, well, you can borrow a little bit. You don't have to borrow all that 500. You can just borrow $50 at a time, or $60 at a time, $100 at a time, and nibble in as these prices come down. Or use it to your, whatever trading strategy that you've got, but you're buying on the lows and borrowing on the lows to build that bag. And then when she bounces back and she starts coming back to 20 cents, which she knows you will, Well, you built your $500 bag. Let's say that, how many CASPA is that? I don't know. Yeah, you built your $500 bag and now you've got maybe an $800, $900 bag. But you didn't go crazy with it. You didn't use that whole $1,500 to build you a $2,000 bag of CASPA. You got an $800 bag. That's manageable. Or a $1,000 bag. You can even do that fairly safely. Well, then when she comes back up and you gain that 20, let's say 25%, well, it's going to be possibly about another, well, depending on your leverage, what you borrow and everything, it's going to be more than 25%. It's going to be closer, like a 50% gain on that. And then at that time, you decide, well, I just want to hold this bag until she keeps going up and up, or I can take a little profits there, pay off that little loan. And then that's really when you see the bag. They're slow, but they start growing. But it gives you more dry powder to work with than if you're just trying to do the spot. And it's nowhere near as risky. You're not in danger of getting liquidated as you would be with futures. And I have not got liquidated, knock on wood. Oh, thank you, Jesus. But my position, during this whole drop right now, I've not had any liquidation scares. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I would say my most risky position I've got is Ethereum, and it's got to get down to $2,183 to liquidate me. Now, if price started coming down about $2,200, $2,300 here on Ethereum, what would I do? Because that's a legitimate question. Should the floor fall out from under me and something happens I'm not planned for? My options would be to move more stablecoin over here from Spot or from another wallet, or to move more Ethereum over here. And that's where we get into, when you start doing this and you plan your amount you're going to put on spot margin, hold off about half of that, just in case. Keep that backup in case something does go wrong in this market and the liquidation price does come down to around, price of Ethereum does come down to around 2,400, 2,200. I'd be freaking out, right? But then I've got some more Ethereum I can move over here. It just negates it. It negates it. It just gives you, like, it's almost like a fresh start. Oh, we just bottom out and now I can move in this, and now I've got some more collateral to dispose here, calmly and wisely at this bottom. And that's the game plan. That's the beauty of this. Well, let's say you don't have no Ethereum. Well, maybe you got a lot of something else, like maybe Bitcoin. That's a good one. I'm just saying, I think this is great for Bitcoin. One of your other bags you got over here, I can borrow a little bit from here and add over here if I need to. It gives you a lot of flexibility to make these plays, and that's what I like about it. It lets me manage my risk a lot better, and even with the scary ass drop, and I don't like it, but I'm good. QNT, you gotta get down to $50 before I start getting really freaking out, and believe me, I would. Can we do this? We could. Well, I can't. Am I taking risk? I'm in more risk than I'm comfortable with over here, to be honest with you, just because I've got so many of these, and that's why I'm saying don't do so many. Oh Lord, you think you see it all now, but you don't. Look, I'm telling you, I've got way too many. I do have a plan for it, but my gosh. But the biggest ones I'm at risk for would be Ethereum, but that not really. Unless they really want to take the Ethereum market, and they could, but I've got a backup plan for Ethereum. BNB, my liquidation price is 405. We're in the 400s now, so she's kind of, I've got my eyes on her. But the ones that I've got, the ones I'm managing my risk on, this is where my risk starts getting into 130 and all that. I don't like that. I try to keep it from that. But the ones I've got my risk up for, look at, what is this? Algorand's got to get down to 7 cents before I get liquidated there. I think she's around 12 cents or something right now, right? Pendle's got to get down to 159. This is one that I moved over just so I can kind of use it as collateral. I'm not necessarily playing this one. A little bit. I've got a 700. I don't know how many of those I got. I got 468 available. I got way too many of these guys. So Pendle, I've got as collateral because as I pull things out or as price drops or whatever, your amount of Pendle that you're using as equity will start dropping. You always want to keep up with what you move over and start out with so that you can always get back to that to make sure you're not losing. So I keep that written down what I'm actually moving over there just so I can track it and know, oh, we back up. Because sometimes when I pull dollars out and borrow from it and move it to somewhere else, that kind of affects that. So I try to keep up with that. Then I won't put things back to normal when things start coming back up and we get into the profit. But Pendle's sitting here. Pendle's got to get down to what, 159 for me to start feeling some pain, and right now she's $1 above that. So pretty good. And this is after she dropped a big ass bunch, right? So I like to keep things somewhere through here if I can, but that doesn't always happen with these big breaks. But when we get the big breaks, I'm moving some things around so that I can be in these areas just to keep it all good. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. The most important thing if you're following spot margin is that risk. That little risk sign right there. Keeping it in the green as much as you can. If you get in yellow, it's not horrible, especially if your percentage is up. So if you're above 140%, you're probably, on a big drop like this, you're probably doing A-okay. But I just can't borrow any more XTZ or waves or any dollars on those collaterals because, they're kind of there. So if there's any of them that I need to really keep an eye on, it's the ones that turn orange, and then watching them as their numbers. If it goes from 140, if we start getting towards 120, you're gonna see me sweating. I'll have to do something and make a move and balance things out a little bit somehow. But if we're turning around probably today, like I think that we could, well then all this stuff starts turning right back around too. And then this, where it says $90,000, it can bounce back up to 130 fairly quickly. Or maybe 140. It can make back these gains really quick. So on the downside, it looks scary as hell. And I can feel that at times because I got so much. But a little bit of a turnaround, a little bit of a relief rally, and it makes a difference coming back. It puts me back in more closer to profit or more to where I can do something and be in profit on some of these positions and help myself out a little bit. Hopefully this has made a little bit of sense. I don't know. I know it sounds confusing. Just treat it like spot. Treat it like spot. Let's check one of these. That was the wrong button, wasn't it? So some of you guys probably don't know what the hell is he talking about. Well, when you can borrow and transfer, okay, right? So I can transfer my Pendle from spot or dollars from spot, or from margin over to spot. Let's do that real quick. I'll send 50. I'm sending 50 Pendle over to my spot position just to show you how this guy works. So we go to my assets over here and you can see I've got some Pendle over here. Yay. So, I can buy something on spot, get an asset, and then I can move it. With the little transfer. Pick which one I want to move and of course it's Pendle. From spot to margin. Gotta put the coin in here. Oh my gosh, for real? You're not making this easy on me. There's an easier way to do this. It's a lot easier on your phone too. One easier way to do it is if you actually go to the margin trading, it's easier to move it over there. So we come back to this screen, and where was Pendle? Right here. So we're going to just transfer back. I'm just showing you how, in case you don't know, in case you're not familiar with it. All right, transfer back over. Now it's back over here. And now that I got it back over here, where are we at, Pendle? I could borrow against it, and I could borrow Pendle if I want to short. Now this is the thing, if you're wanting to short the market, you can with this. I just didn't. But you can borrow Pendle and sell it and stack your orders. You can sell it, market now, sell it now, or wait till it comes back up and short, just exactly what you would do on spot or anything else. But I could borrow up to, it looks like 502 Pendle. Don't want to. If I need to borrow dollars, I can borrow up to $1,300 on this. Don't want to. I've already borrowed $710 on this, and my collateral right now is currently worth $468 because of the drop. So I'm still fairly good on here, right? And that's why my risk management is 171. I'm pretty good. If I needed to, in an emergency, I can borrow some. I could pull out, I don't know, $200 from this. See that? Now I got $200 here that I could transfer from margin to spot, just like this. Now what does that do to my Pendle position? Pendle's right here. It's knocked me down to 133%. Too much. Don't like it. I was at 170. So you keep that in mind, but it gives you that opportunity. Now I can go to spot and I can use that $200 for something if I want to. Right now, I mean, I don't really want Pendle to be down at 133. So we're going to take it all. We're going to take it back from spot. We got to click this USDT. That's what we're transferring back. Now we got our Pendle up here again. Where's Pendle? Right, she's back up here. So now I'm back at 155, and that's because I borrowed some money, man. So instead of $710 borrowed against my 468, now I got $910 borrowed against that. So then I'm kind of almost double. Getting about the 150-ish area means that you're kind of doubled. But then I can also repay this. I can repay as much as I want. I can repay 100. Maybe I just want to pay back 150 and keep 50 to mess with. Keep 50 to trade with. I can do that. That puts me at a pretty decent place. Now I got $50 that I can use and maybe put a lowball order in and wait for it to get hit. Those kind of ideas. That's what I like about this. It gives you some flexibility that you just don't get anywhere else. I'm just going to go ahead and pay it back because I like this being up at 171. All right. So we got Crispy Chicken, we got Sam Webb, we got Brackets Adventures. Sam says, I couldn't repay my loan and got stopped out, still in profit, I think. Okay, that's cool. Well, I mean, you can repay your loan whenever, though. That's the beauty of it. Sometimes you'll see these little notices, this automatically been repaid or whatever, the little bitty micro payments that they got to do. I don't worry about that. But it's a helpful thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to try like now when the markets are dumped. And I mean, not saying do a lot, but if that's a kind of thing, let me throw that link out here too. I forgot to do that. So I'm using CoinEx, but like I said, they got it on KuCoin, and you may have to have a Plow ID for some of these other exchanges. You don't own CoinEx as long as you use a VPN. So we got that going for us. I need to get my Plow ID soon, so I won't have to do any of this stuff. That is one consideration on this. If you get kicked off an exchange at the wrong times, like if news came out, we can't, whatever rule, we can't let you access our exchange anymore because you're an American citizen, because they pull all that bullshit here in the US, screwing us over. Well, then, that happened to me on KuCoin, and it hurt me. I had to take some losses when I'm moving things around, so I don't like that part. That's another reason I don't like having all these coins over here. So I'm really waiting for a pullback on the market to come back up. That's my game plan. That's my hope. That's my trade idea. And it looks shaky, but that's what I'm doing right now. When we get the next pull up, that I can get out of a lot of these positions here and clean them up, take some profit, and just roll it over and pay off some of these bigger positions I'm really trying to hold on to, because I'm really wanting to grow my Bitcoin. That's the main one. Caspa. I'm growing that little sucker. I had it up to like 88,000 Caspa that was me. And now I've had to borrow against it, so it's kind of skewed that. But it's all right. As these things come back, I'm paying that back. We'll get back in the order there. But Caspa, Solana, Rune, Near, most of these big top ones, Ethereum, all the way down to maybe DOT. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep DOT, but from here on up, and then a few more that are thrown in here. There's about 10 positions that I'm really trying to actually build out of all these. I'll be narrowing all these down to about 10 positions, if that makes sense. And again, I just want to say it's not the smartest, brightest idea. It takes a lot of time, and I would only do this because I'm so familiar with this. Do not recommend having this many positions open. It's too much, too much, too much. But it's a great strategy to do it. A little bit more conservatively, I'd put it that way. Not going as many, but it's a great time to do it. Did we ever throw that? CoinEx. Yeah, we'll throw that link up there. It's in the chat. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got to go over. I think we talked about everything about what the market might do, what I'm thinking it would do, hopefully hoping it would do, and then how we're going over here. If you're curious about my futures trade, oh my God, and transparency, that is part of the problem here. I've actually had to take some of this Bitcoin profit over here and push it over to the futures because, well, I'm on the wrong side. And she's not looking pretty. But I'm hanging around. Today I'm only down $1,800. I have an unrealized profit. I'm down a lot. I'm down 6,000. So we got to. Apparently I have a problem taking that $250 loss when it happens. Actually, what happens, I got stopped out, and then I wanted to build a smaller position, and she got out of hand. So I've got some, on my strategy part, I've got some little wrinkles to iron out here, because I'm not, never do I ever want to be this far on the other side of a trade. I'm managing her, but she is not pretty. The profit and loss analysis on this sucks. And I'm transparent about it. This is the whole idea, the whole thing that I'm trying to do, which I'm starting to think is probably just a dream. It's probably the dream they want to sell you on when it comes to this, is to get that low leverage Bitcoin position before we start taking off and go back to 70, 75, 80,000 to get that low. And I've got a low leverage. It's 8x. And I'm just trying to build it. But is it the wisest choice? I'm starting to think it's kind of stupid to try to do that. Honestly, I'm just like, I don't like the risk I'm putting myself at trying to do it. So not really crazy about that idea anymore. What does this position look like? So my average entry right now is like 65,200, and here we are at 59. That kind of sucks. But I'm at 8x. I would like to have it. I wouldn't mind having it at 5 if we're going to be down in the 50,000s, but I don't know if I can do that too easy where we are right now. So this is not fun. I'm not liking it, and I don't advise you to follow me on this at all, but I'm just in transparency showing you where I'm at. Clearly, I've got to tweak my execution. You can see what's going to happen and see what I need to do, but it's the execution part that I seem to be lacking on. Please let this falling wedge break to the upside. What is this, Algorand? Screw Algorand. All right, guys, that's all I got. Let me check and see if there's any questions. Brex says, thanks for going over that. Hopefully, if you got any questions, put them in, any questions you got in the Telegram group, put it over there, and I'll find them. Or comments on this video, I'll definitely find them. I see all the comments for videos. That's the best place to put questions about all this stuff. And that way I can come back and address them and everything. After repayment, the remaining to be paid amount cannot be lower than $50. Please adjust amount to pay. What does that mean? I've ran into that a few times. It was on small amounts. The repayment amount. So you must just be at that threshold to borrow, right? it's always worked itself out for me, but I found myself in that situation where I tried to repay and it wouldn't. And I know it sounds great, but I actually tried to pay back a smaller amount. You should be able to pay back anything. But I have encountered that where it wouldn't take it. And I never could figure out why. Other than we're just at that threshold. Like you're at that bare minimum threshold to actually make this spot margin thing work. And you know, you got just enough where you can borrow that minimum $50 or $60, right? And now you're trying to pay back. Try paying back like $15, $20 of it. Because at some point it started letting me do that, and then I haven't seen that issue anymore. I mean, if you could technically add maybe about $10 more if you use Tether over there and see if that will kind of fix it or whatever. But why? Why should we have to do that? Let's just let it roll where it is. Unless you're in danger of your risk management going to getting shot over there, going below 120 or something like that, then I wouldn't see the need to put any more Tether or more assets over there. But that in itself, putting just a few more coins or a few more Tether over there could fix that for you. But it seems to fix over time as the asset gains back in price or whatnot. For some reason, I don't know. I think you should be able to repay back anything at any time, and usually I can. But I have seen that before. If you got any more problems with it, we talk about it in Telegram and see if we can work through it and figure it out. All right, guys, that's all I got. We'll go ahead and get off here. It's 4:18, and hopefully this is, shed some light on about how the spot margin works and what I'm doing with it. And it's working, but even for me right now with this pullback, I'm still seeing where I need to take more profits when we start making a rebound up there. Well, that number starts going up. Next time I get up to around 140, 150,000 on that, yeah, you can bet I'm trying to pull out trying to pull about 25,000 from that so that I don't have to worry about this crap no more. Or it's a lot more funner, and start, shorting instead. Using some of those practices. But that's, that's as you get more comfortable with the platform and the trading and your skills and all that. So everybody's at a different place, but the basic stuff. I guess the basic message is if you're looking to capitalize on these drops, it's a good time to maybe think about moving some assets over spot margin. It's one play that you can do. Doesn't have to be the only play. I'm using Casper to learn on. That's a good one. Liquidation price is 0.018 for... I don't know what asset that is, but hopefully you're far from that. If it's Casper, then yeah, you're doing real good. All right, guys. Catch you later. Catch you tonight. Hopefully the CME guys, around 5 o'clock, about an hour, hopefully we'll see the price start bouncing back. Well, that's what we're hoping for. No guarantees. All right. See you later, guys.